Hey guys, thanks for coming back. Well, I thought I was done cleaning this thing. You know, all that garbage I showed you that I got out of it, well, I got this much more. I got that much more out of it. I used a combination of my other scraper and the wire brush and the wire wheel and this. And that's my third bottle out of the 3 bottles I bought when I first got the machine. I've got about, I would say, half a bottle left. There's probably about a half a bottle in there, and then I'm going to start on the Awesome, which I believe is the same stuff anyway. But for $1 a bottle, and it dissolves it really well. Some of that stuff was really embedded in the bottom of that shelf. Over here on the right, there's kind of like a grid pattern. It looks like a bunch of small holes. Maybe it's a drain, but I can't get anything to go through the holes. So once I suck out all this stuff in here, I'll go ahead and, there we go. It's getting pretty clean. I don't know if I'm going to paint the shelf. What I was thinking of doing is cutting up a couple of these tiles here and putting them in here so anything that I put in here doesn't get tossed directly on the cast iron and either get dented, nicked, scratched, or what have you. Until I can get a cover for the front of this, I think I'll go ahead and put one of these tiles in there. It'll make a really nice, what am I trying to say? It'll make a really nice floor for anything to go in there without getting damaged, marred, or anything like that. So it's Sunday morning, and I came out here probably about 5 o'clock this morning, and I didn't have much better to do. So that's the extra pile of garbage I got. I put the camera away for about 15 minutes here and then got another idea. I was starting to soak up my solution, and I was using my blue, spit it out, Ron. I was trying to soak up the solution, and I was using my blue shop towels. So we have a little dog, and we train her to go on these pads. And I just thought I'd see if, I was thinking of pig mats, and since I don't have a pig mat, I thought I'd see if one of these would work. So I just kind of threw it in here and thought I'd get a picture of it, even though I know you guys are going to probably laugh at me, but I got to use what I got on hand. And you know something? That worked extremely well. So I'll put it over here and put it on the other side. And I'll let it sit on there for a few minutes and just get it down. And it's got plastic on one side of it. Your hand won't get dirty. You can just smooth it all down. And when you're done, put it in another one, roll it all up, and toss it in the garbage. Not that much left in there. I'll let it pad sit in there for probably about 5 minutes. So this is the damage I've done. Hold this thing up, nice and sweet. Don't have to get anything dirty, just like a diaper. And we'll come in here and see how clean we got her. So, pretty good. So all I did is I took 1 square foot of this, and since it unsnaps on every row, I took off 2 rows, and it should fit in really well. If I eyeballed it correctly. Wow. I didn't have to cut anything. I didn't have to waste any tiles. Look at that. And it keeps it up off the cast iron floor. Anything that's going to fall through it, it's not going to sit in it and grind on it. There we go. Oh, I didn't get the light up on there. There we go. Wow. Let's try it again, Ron. I'm glad we have the miracle to edit, because I'm just flying this light all over the place willy-nilly. I know. There we go. I'm just trying to get it, the hook twisted so it don't fall off. Okay. So here's what it looks like. I didn't have to trim anything. Didn't have to cut up anything. So I could always use those on the floor and put some other kind of mat in there, but I figured they go in and out easy enough. I can always pull it out and just vacuum it when it needs it. So it looks like the inside shelf is done with this one, guys. No painting on the inside, like I said. And I think I'm going to focus on the left-hand side here and make sure it's all clean. And then we're going to work on getting the base one color. Yeah, I noticed throughout the machine there was some brazing. You can see different areas where they added brazing compound. I remembered where the off button was this time. I guess I can take you over and show you what I did to the grinder. There's the wheel for it. Abrasive number 1.5. I've got one of the grids in there for the floor. There's the tool and die stamp mark. There's the Jennison Machinery Company tag mark when they sold this machine. So I went ahead and I painted everything gold on that. And the same thing with the other side over here. I didn't want red on it to jump out and bite you. I wanted it to be subtle but elegant, if that makes sense, because I just found out this is a 1940 model made in December. I went to Keith Rucker's website and he's got the serial numbers on there. Thank you, Keith. Anyway, there's where we're at with this. Believe it or not, I've had this for 2 years without breaking it. First one I broke. Anyway, hey, I got a parts list for my number 1.5 horizontal spindle surface grinding machine. It's a copy that someone made and spiral bound. It's okay, it still has the same information. It wasn't photographed and oriented correctly. It's supposed to open, you know, this way. This page is supposed to be next to this page. This is the motor assembly. And the parts for the wheel slide assembly. Here. And the parts what we want today are plate 3, parts for the crossfeed mechanism. I want to show you something else. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to clean up the nuts and bolts because they're kind of dirty, grungy, and when I put it together, I don't want them to look like that. So I've got a pile of them back here that I'm going to go ahead and clean up, but I've got the wheel done already. The wheel turned out really nice. I just cleaned up the outside, painted the inside, and it turned out really nice. I'm happy with that. Now I'll go stick it over here on the ground. Oh, there we go. So I don't drop it and break the crank handle off of it too. Let me see. I don't have that other wheel here because I'm irritated with it because I dropped it. And we'll put that on last since I really don't need it right now. But there was something else I was going to show you. Oh, there's the switches for it. But there was something else I was going to show you, but I can't remember what the heck it was. Anyways, oh, here it is. These are the clamps. If you remember on the tower, there are two standoffs for the dust collector that goes right behind the grinding wheel. These are the clamps that was attached to that. And I think they're really cool because I started cleaning them up and I could see they have copper rivets in them. Except for this one. This one has one brass one. But the other one down here has 3 copper rivets. So I took it on a wire wheel and I got the metal finish as smooth as I could and still have it look... Oop, there we go. Sorry. I got the metal finished up as smooth, smoothed up a little bit, and then I stuck it on the buffer. What's really cool about this thing, it has a leather liner. That material in there is leather. And it's held in with these. I think that's pretty cool. And I'm going to leave them the same finish. I'm not going to paint them. I just stuck them on the buffer like that. I think they look good. I'll put a little lanolin based stuff on there or some type of rust preventative, and they'll stay really good for me. That's going to look sweet with that flex hose up there and those holding it up. I just have to put this little bit in. Sometimes I overdo things. I know I overdo things, but I was cleaning this up and I thought I'd put a nice little polish on this one. And I was just kind of playing with it. And you can see how dirty it is inside. I have to clean out the inside too, but you know something? I saw the next one. I'm going to polish the top on this one. But there hasn't been anything in... Oops. There we go. There hasn't been anything inside this in decades. No oil has entered this in decades. It's totally bone dry with a rust dust. I just had to put that in there. I just thought that was lack of proper maintenance. So I had to think of a really nice way to say that. Because I don't want to bash anybody if they're not here to defend themselves. So... but it won't happen again. Thanks for letting me interrupt. What I'm doing now is I'm putting just a little bit of grease inside here. I've got everything all cleaned out, and those are cotton plugs. And as you can see, I was poking around in there with a scratch awl, and they're cotton plugs. There hasn't been oil in this thing in decades. For shame. now, I guess before I run this in, I'm going to wipe some of this oil out from behind here. Oh, I'll show you this here. I was trying to show you last time, but the table was still in. Here's that oil hole that feeds the bottom of the nut that the screw rides in. And if I remember right, it was stuck and I had to really push on it to get it to snap loose. Your paint job got broken in. Okay, after all that, somebody that don't know this, hind end from a hole in the ground. Got this doggone thing back together so far. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm glad I didn't touch the motor assembly either. But this thing actually turned out pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and, if I can find my oil can, give these a couple shots here. There we go. Okay. We're going to have to take that over to the mill and get that pin out of there. I think I'm ready for it. Well guys, it doesn't take much to get me tired these days, so I think that's going to be about enough for the day. I think I said it once before. Hey, there go the kids on the mini bike again. Oh, damn it, if I get 2 or 3 years older, I'll be able to ride one. I think you have to be, what, 10? 9, 10 years old? I'm only 6, so... Here. I know, it's probably not it, but just for the first oiling, get something in there. It shows all the parts for a specific area, but it doesn't show 100% of the orientation for these parts. Oh, let me get a screwdriver. I'm working without glasses right now, so that's only because I said, well, I think I'm done for the day, and then something else pops into my head. Yeah, really wrong. Just rotate the shaft and let it turn. There we go. Oh, that's an awful big slot for me not to be able to see even without glasses. There we go. Goes to the next one. Snaps it back in. I won't have to crank that much, but you get the idea. So everything just rolls on it really smooth. So far everything's going really well. Thanks for tuning in. For sure this is the last time today, I think. I'll get you guys there. We'll do a box opening when I get my phase converter. I'm going to be putting these in probably next time. I don't think I'm going to paint them. Right back there. I have to take one of the way covers off to get those in there. Yeah, that looks nice on that. I'm just looking at the numbers and playing. I'm sorry. I get carried away with it all the time. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support.